Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
We've been to Spa, Daytona, Le Mans, Sebring, Watkins Glen, Hockenheim, Mosport and Monza, but it comes down to this round at Road Atlanta to decide the championships in the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. I'm Sam Fitzpatrick to bring you through this season finale. Alongside me is Austin Knight. Jamie Fluke is operating the cameras. And like I said, we have got to decide some titles this evening, some prizes, and a lot of pride as well. Austin, this is a terrific end to the season, in my opinion. Such a fun circuit, a circuit that the P2s as well will be very, very familiar with, and I'm sure this place is an absolute ball in a P1.
This place, Road Atlanta, it's classic. It is one of the most favorite tracks on iRacing. There was just a endurance event here last night on the iRacing YouTube channel. If anyone caught the stream to MMS over here, a lot of cool things were revealed about what is coming to iRacing. And, you know, three main features coming to iRacing. Well, 2 features, 1 track update. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun. Today, Road Atlanta, very awesome. P2s, yes, they're going to be at the advantage here. They've had all the time. LMP1's going to be a little bit hit and miss because they don't really run here a lot. But, you know, I'm going to say that first section with the LMP1's going to be a heck of a lot of fun.
Yes. I mean, it's fun in every car, but I feel like the more downforce you load onto it, the more fun that S's section becomes. It is, and yeah, absolutely incredible place in the world. And yeah, could be important tonight to decide the 3 championships that we have got. A couple of them are fairly secure. One of them is the P1 standings. Jack Wells at the top. These points include the drop score, remember, so you don't need to concern too much about that one. But with Jack Wells at the top of that championship, Araya is around tonight, unlike last time, but so is Wells. So Wells just needs to finish tonight within 3 laps of the race lead, and there's no chance of him losing the championship lead. I think even if he does retire, I still think he's too far ahead. So Wells in a very strong position there in the P1s. In the P2 Pros, this is the one that we want to keep an eye on, because Civisabo is currently 7 points clear of Kraft. Now you get 6 points more to win the race than to finish in second place, plus you get a bonus point for 0 incidents. So Kraft could draw level with Civisabo if he manages to achieve both those things and Civisabo doesn't get a clean race. That could be a close one, because those 2 have been pretty much even for all the rounds so far this season. And in the P2 AMS, this one is still alive, but it's unlikely to change. Mork 13 points ahead of Shuri. Cafoda's well in there, but Shuri would need an absolute mega round in order to overturn that one. And it's quite a change to what we thought we were going to see halfway through that Monza round last time out, Austin, because that was one of the biggest changes I think I've ever seen in a race, where Mork was absolutely nowhere for the first half an hour. And in the second half, he chased everyone down and managed to win the race. It was really a champion's drive, to be fair. If he wins it because of that, I mean, fair dues.
Yeah, fair dues, definitely to Mork right there. Last time at Monza was so fun. I remember the first part of the race, the first 40 minutes, we were just like, okay, we got a 2-car breakaway. Then out of nowhere, boom, 5-car breakaway. The boom, hey, Mork's in the lead. It was absolute amazing to see that performance right there from Thomas Mork, and I'm excited to see what happens here today at Road Atlanta, as qualifying is currently underway, and Luis Araya is the first one to put the time on the board. Luis missed out last round because he was out in a cabin.
Yeah, it was a shame.
It was a pre-arranged thing, and he couldn't get out of it.
I mean, you bring your simulator to the cabin in that case, don't you? You install the rig there.
You know, install the rig, put up the solar panels, all that stuff. Put some geothermal heating, power stuff as well. Boom, you're all set.
Exactly, but you
watch
decided not
Bros.
to do that.
Watch Bus Bros on YouTube. They have simulators in their RVs, or they've talked about it.
Yeah, and he decided not to. So he lost a lot of points last time out, and it will be very tricky for him to come back into the championship fray. But to be fair, Wells was already ahead and didn't win last time out, actually. It was Matt Loveridge who managed to get his first race win of the season. We'll see if Loveridge can go 2 for 2 at the end of this season, albeit he is not out in qualifying at the moment.
Right, yeah, he's actually typed in our YouTube chat saying, "Here goes nothing." Well, he hasn't left the pit. Well, actually, now he's left the pits. Well, I'm guessing that first lap was nothing.
drivers can set as many apologies. They can set 4 lap times in qualifying, so he should still be able to get all 4 of them. And it's a short circuit, and these P1 cars are very, very quick. As De Philippis now goes to the top, that is very strong there from De Philippis. We wait to see if there's going to be some more improvements from the drivers. To be fair, I think there is going to be some more improvement because you can see the P2s are only 2 seconds slower.
Yeah, Josh Lane, purple lap time retakes at 105.342, which is taken by 1,000th of a second by Wilhelmsen, taking pole position right there. But Jack Wells, he set purple in Sector 1, Sector 2, purple in Sector 3. Jack Wells is flying right now, heading into the final sector. Let's ride on board through that final chicane underneath the Fox Factory Bridge. And this is looking like a purple Sector 4 as well. Comes across the line. Yes, it is purple, 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 purple. Jack Wells, 102.170. Well, if there was a Hail Mary lap, that definitely is it. I think Jack even had to stop driving this lap to realize what he just done.
And also, Sivisabe goes to the top of the P2 Pros and Mork to the top of the P2 AMS. That's very important for Sivisabe, who just needs to finish second tonight and get the bonus point for fastest lap, and that will be enough to win the title. Kraft improves, but he's still just short and cannot get on top of his teammate Sivisabe. Of course, there was a crucial mistake last time out at Monza Austin from Kraft. We just happened to be watching him as he made a mistake. He spun at the second chicane after following his teammate for the entire race up to that point, and it's left him with a lot of work to do tonight.
It really was a big mistake that dropped him away. He did close that gap, but you know, when you lose to your teammate because of an incident, it is hurtful. Luis Araya jumps up into second place. Purple Sector 1, so he outpaces Jack Wells through Sector 1. Jack Wells, this lap is just taking it easy, probably just warming up the car, recharging the batteries, and giving it all in his final lap. Luis Araya just did his final lap, so Jack Wells is just starting his final lap. This is Fabio Grassetto heading through the final turn right now on his final lap. Grassetto puts in a 1.245. Does not move ahead of third place. As here is Kofed. Kofed comes across the line with a 109.07. Starting their lap. Jack Wells improved on his Sector 1, but Sector 2 not fast enough for him. As Kofed, that was his last lap. But Jack Wells, this is his final lap right now as they go down that back straightaway.
And the only other drivers, yeah, so we've got Shuri out there, we've got Loveridge out there, and we've got Bekema out there who can still improve. Everyone else is back to the pit. So Will's just putting some distance, albeit may need to cover off Loveridge later on. He's still got a couple more laps to go. Here comes Wells. Can he get into the 1 minute ones, perhaps?
Oh,
no, not quite. But it's a very good effort, and it's always good to see a driver back up a very strong original time right there. Love is just crossing the line himself. Is he able to get somewhere there? No, he's not at the moment. Must be making a mistake. Surely, Matt Loveridge, 4.5 seconds off the pace after he beat Wells fair and square last time out. Seems unlikely.
I think he might be. I think his struggles might be in the first sector. We see him really attacking that curb. Attacking all these curves out here, and in these LP1 cars, it's not really what goes on. He's probably just looking after his car, looking after the floor right there. And the Audi would be at an advantage right here, but it's all about boost deployment and where you deploy the boost here. I know a lot of LP1s that have the boost map where they set up the car and they know exactly where they need to deploy the boost. Here on this back straight, for example. But I think it's also just discovering where you need to deploy the boost and how you need to attack these corners. Because the LP1s around here, not that experienced compared to the LP2s, which run here in the Petit Le Mans special event.
Yeah, that'll be coming up in not too long, a couple of months.
Yeah.
So that's event. Loveridge across the line again. Let's see if this is a bit better. So it is a bit better. So he's getting faster, but I mean, still not where he would want to be. Shuri as well, still out there. Going for the championship, of course, is Jake Shuri. Second place in the P2 AMS at the moment. and he's second place in the P2 AMs. In qualifying, Mork back to his usual best through J1K Racing. Been very strong for most of the season, but last time at Monza they did seem to be all out at sea. But Mork is right back up there. I think Mork qualified 6th actually out of the P2s last time, and he's up there in 3rd this time, so a much better performance from him. This isn't looking like the best lap from Shuri with a couple of yellow sectors, but it's still enough to put him to the top by 13 thousandths of a second. And that could be very important. Shuri gets ahead of Mork, and they are both ahead of Grosseto as well from the P2 Pro. So some big points available here from Shuri. That's what he needed to do, at least to have a hope at the championship, as I think that's an off-track for Loveridge.
Yeah, that was an off-track for Loveridge. See the drop in pace. He knows what happened. That's going to be a horrible way to end out his final lap. He'll be starting from 5th place in the LP1s. Now, there are a few drivers serving a penalty, am I right, for today?
Only a couple. I don't think either of them are here.
Even
Damick and Pavona. So that
yeah, they're not here.
Any penalties. So everyone will be... Well, of course, it's only qualifying penalties anyway. But yeah, everyone was able to set a lap time, and no one will get disqualified post-race. You can get post-season penalties. Just a reminder that if you get a few license points, you can get post-season penalties, and they can be heavy. So really important for the drivers to avoid incidents. That's really the only way that Wells is going to lose the championship, most likely in the P1s. So the grid then for this final race of the season should be the short pace lap. Jack Wells, apologies, we've only had 9 rounds of this. I know his name. Jack Wells at the top, ahead of Luis Araya, Wilhelmsen 3rd, Lane 4th, Loveridge and De Philippis in 5th and 6th. In the P2 Pros, we have got Siri Sabo ahead of Kraft, ahead of Grosseto, but Grosseto will be starting in amongst the P2 AMs because he was out-qualified by Shuri, Mork and Cathode. Bekema and Klist round out the order. Watch out for Bekema, a little bit underwhelming from him. He's been very quick in the races he's taken parts in. I expect him to move up a few positions, I think.
Yeah, Bekema is pretty quick. Can't agree on that. This qualifying, Road Atlanta might not be his strongest pace, but we saw him in Monza, and he was very dominant around there. And yeah, we are looking forward for a good race here today. 1 minute on the clock before everybody gets ready to rock and roll here. Just waiting on Luis Araya to put in final checks. Daniel Kraft, Thomas Mork, and Martin Kofed. For everybody to get ready to go here at Road Atlanta. Matt Loveridge has just gone back to the pit lane. I think he might have forgot to put in the right set. Luckily, not everybody has moved on just yet as we take a look at the back straightaway. There's Matt. Just looking at everybody else, and yeah.
Yeah, still got Mork to get onto the grid. That's the only one. That's the vacant spot you can see in the P2 field. But he is there now. So we have got our P2 position 2. And the lights, which are fairly useless when it comes to a rolling start, because of course they have the start zone to the drivers. So they can launch the car anywhere between the start finish line and the curb on the right hand side of the circuit at the final corner. So it's not a very long period here, and so pretty much once you get onto the pit straight, basically you are free to launch the car. So Wells will leave it a while here, and the P2s will leave a nice gap as we are preparing for the final race then of the season here at Road Atlanta. Still Wells holds on. Now he can go at any points he wishes. He hesitates a little bit, and now he puts his foot down, and it's a very strong start for him. Good start as well for Araya. Wilhelmsen wasn't able to take advantage. Already Loveridge always uses the boost of the launch. He's had a massive slide, almost losing it again. They're overheating the tyres, but he is underway. Siri Sabo leading the P2s. Grosseto has got a very strong start. He's already ahead of a couple of the P2 AMs, and Shuri also got ahead of Kraft, and that is exactly what Kraft did not need, as Loveridge has crashed, and he's on the racing line there. Is everyone going to be able to avoid him? They do. Good driving, good heads-up awareness there, and Loveridge rejoins the circuit after an absolute mare of a first lap.
Yeah, Loveridge definitely was struggling, especially around turn 2. There's more smoke crash in the background. That is Thomas Mork. Mork is around and in the wall. Thomas Mork with that championship drive in Monza is crashed and in the wall. and that is not good. Roberto De Felipe, one of our LMP1s, has also crashed out as well. But, yeah, there's De Felipe, so that's a lot of damage right there. Looking like the iRacing development Corvette from last night's 3 hours Peachtree race, as it's missing the completely front nose right there. Stevie Salzbo is leading ahead of this three-way fight. Shuri's on the outside. Daniel Kraft sends it up onto the inside, retaking second place overall in the LMP2s. And Civi Salzbo has got a great lead over his teammate, Jake Shuri, leading out Fabio Grassetto and Martin Kofed. Kofed down behind Grassetto, so Jake Shuri kind of splitting the LMP2 answer. There is Grassetto just looking under a little bit of pressure from Martin Kofed, as Kofed is really chasing him down.
Yeah, he is. I'm not sure what Grassetto's pace is going to be like. He's usually above. Ooh, as we got leverage into the wall again. Gosh, wow. Yeah, he's just not comfortable on the circuit, is he? It is understandable compared to Monza, where they visit fairly often. There was a list on the outside, but Leverage just lost the rear end, had to correct it, and huge impact, and it's all good that he escaped right away. So that is a couple of our P1s already out of contention, as here comes Grassetto trying to get past Kofed there. So Kofed has got past Grassetto then.
Yes, Kofed was already ahead of Grassetto. Grassetto's trying to get ahead of Kofed, and he's just being a little bit hesitant on his overtaking maneuver. Heading into that chicane, he looked down to the inside and then decided not to go on it, as that is a Bachman going way off the track. Then turn one.
He has rejoined the circuit. There he is.
Yeah, I know he's racing for no limit sim racing, but there are limits in this track, and they are clearly defined by the grass. Unlike in Austria, when it's just curbs and a little bit of gravel here and there.
Yeah, it is quite annoying, that one. But yeah, it is better track limits here. Still
better track
to
limits.
Get a 1x though, because of the very flat curves, particularly at the chicane. So easy to cut, because there's pretty much no kind of physical penalty by cutting the circuit, as we see what happened to Mork on lap 1, and this could be significant for the championship.
This is curbs. All the big curves on the outside. He dipped the wheel into the gravel, and there he goes off into the grass. He does tap the wall a little bit, but it looks like that car is not damaged at all. As we go back to Wassell, who just had a little bit of offense. He's chasing down Paul Joseph Klist.
Yeah, I think he should make this one fairly quick. I think he's a bit faster. Mork didn't get that much damage, did he? So
no, I don't think he hit the wall. I just saw him go off in turn one.
He doesn't need to win the race, of course, Mork. Doesn't need to beat Sherry. Just needs to get decently close. I think if it ended like this, I'm going to do some calculations, but it'd be very close. But you would expect Mork to gain a few places from here, particularly the two ahead of him. I think he's much faster.
Yeah, I believe Klist, and there is actually the 299 of Thomas Mork right there. So Mork is actually chasing these two down right there, and no overtake opportunity for Wassell. Wassell's just looking for the draft to get that move on, but look behind him. There is Thomas Mork. Mork already looking to get some positions underneath his belt. Right there is all up in that draft of Wassell. And let's right on board of Thomas Mork. You see PJC defending onto the inside. Then there's Wassell sending it to the chicane. Really big send. Got into the grass right there and blocked Thomas Mork on the back of PJC. That's what I'm going to start calling Paul right there.
I think it's a good name. Yeah, I was just thinking in my mind. That's the PJC. There you go. Absolutely. There you go, Paul. You got, we've made yourself a new name here at Apex Racing TV. There goes Mork. Clear.
That's a 1x.
Yes.
That was almost the Rallycross Apex Racing Super Truck line.
We haven't done it around this circuit. I would be curious.
I thought we did.
No,
I thought we
did. We haven't.
I'm guessing this is just me just like saying, oh, this would be a great track, because that jump right there is pretty much just leads up into an actual Rallycross jump. As Wilhelmsen has had an issue up in 4th place in the LP1s. Just had a little bit of an off track. I think just went wide in turn 1.
Yeah, he certainly has dropped back, hasn't he?
Inside curb. Nope, not turn 1, but turn 2 might. Oh, there's the snap right there. Cuts over, takes the rallycross jump, enters the club layout. And yeah, that is not a good section of corners, and that will be a slowdown penalty for Hilner.
Amen. Lane. Well, Lane has generally had the advantage for most of the season, but Hilner has been very consistent. Very few mistakes from him this season. It's been an impressive performance, and looking to maybe get one last podium to cap off the season. There's Surisabe. Remember, him versus Kraft is the tightest championship that we have. So Surisabe has already got 2 incidents. Kraft has got no incidents, and that is the opposite of what I thought it would be. So, if Kraft can get ahead of Surisabe and keep that 0 incidents, then he would tie on points. After that, it would come down to race wins, and I'm genuinely not sure who's got more race wins. I think they may have the pretty much. Yeah, I think Kraft. I think they're currently 4 wins apiece, but I will check that.
Yeah, I think they're tied as Roberto De Filippis takes the club layout and the Formula 4 pit entry. As, well, using that escape route right there off the main circuit. Heading into the club pits. And I gotta say, the club pit entry in real life, I've had the pleasure and privilege of riding in the Honda Safety Car at a Formula 4 event here at Road Atlanta. Entering those club pits, we basically turn off the lights, heading underneath the bridge, and we have to speed into the club pits before they get going onto the grid. And it is so scary. It's 120 miles an hour that is straight into the brakes downhill. Every time I thought we were going to crash. Luckily, we didn't.
I can imagine, and I do wish that pit lane was used more. On iRacing. Unfortunately, we can't use it for the full layout. We can use it, I think, for the short layout. Yeah,
it will be the club layout that it's actually used for. The short layout, I believe, still uses the main pit entry. Because that is the club pits, which is actually underneath the bigger pit building, which is kind of funny. But it is a very interesting pit entry, and I gotta say, I think it's up there with the most dangerous pit entries. And also, Road Atlanta, I think, is the only track that I know outside of VIR that has 2 pit entries on the same circuit. But they are not used simultaneously.
I mean, I imagine there's a few more, no? Like Silverstone?
Oh yeah, Silverstone does have 2 pit entries, and yes, they are active, but they're only active on certain layouts, I think. In real life, that is the support pit lane, but all the support guys go to the main pit lane. That is just where they're garaged up.
Yeah, when you have like WEC, you have the European.
Well, Formula 3 and Formula 2 are also over there as well.
Yeah. I was just doing some calculations on points. So, if it ended like this, Shuri would get 41 points, and Mork would get 34 points. So that's I think the gap is currently 13 points. So he'd barely half it, basically. Would Shuri. So Shuri really needs something to happen to the top 2, the 2 Pearsons guys, in order to have chances. Here comes Grosseto as the P1 moves his way past.
Rewind.
Getting very under pressure right now from Grosseto.
And Luis Ryan is taking it very easily, not wanting to force an incident. It's the first 10 minutes of the race as he begins his charge, but with that little bit of a hold-up, that is allowing Kofed to get right onto the back of the 255. With the 255 being caught up by Grosseto. Grosseto sends it down to the inside, and finally getting past Kofed. Just took him 10 minutes, 9 laps to do that.
Yeah, and it's left a gap now to Shuri. I think it will be a close battle tonight between Shuri and Grassetto. I don't think there's going to be much of a difference in pace. Shuri having probably one of his races of the season, just when he needed it. But Kamer and
tight.
Mork are very close. For another, Mork is now ahead. That's a good effort there. You can see he gained by 7/10 on that previous lap. So Mork crucially ahead of Bekema, and that closes the points difference then to Jake Shuri by another point. He's up to 6th place overall in the P2s. So now his championship lead is restored to 8 points, if I recall correctly. But Bekema is still wanting to come back. He's got nothing to lose, so Mork needs to be careful.
Definitely, and you got to be careful around here. It's so easy to make a mistake, and when you do make that mistake, it will bite you back. As most, all the track ace, it is grass, and these LMP1 cars is LMP1s and LMP2 cars. It's just like what we saw at Mosport, where grass on the outside, everything just doesn't work. Now, we do have a answer to my double pit lane. Spa has a double exit. Does that count? Thing is, I don't know if Spa has the...
I don't think it counts.
I don't think it counts because it's combined. Yeah, it's a combined pit entry. Now, it is a separate pit lane, but because they only combine it, I don't think it counts.
So I think there's a fair few more because you've got Motegi, you've got Suzuka.
Oh, Motegi, yeah. That is an interesting one.
You
but
could
that would
argue
be the oval.
Nürburgring.
Meh. How?
Got 2 pit lanes.
No, no. Oh, you're talking about the Industrial Fahin pit lane.
Yeah.
That is not accessible. That completely cuts an entire thing out.
Well, technically, it's got 3 pit lanes because
because the toll.
As well,
the toll entry.
Yeah.
I think we're just having a laugh right there. We're still technically, it's on both the front straights, the side straights. It's on both the straights, but
again, that's the Spa argument, isn't it?
Well, they do have options for it to be combined and separate.
But so does the Spa one.
No, like you can use both pit lanes in the same race. You just don't have to drive through them. I think that is the only one where separate pit roads are used, but it's also an oval circuit and very small.
What do you think Kraft is going to do here, Austin? Do you think he's going to wait behind? He seems to be faster. He could probably pull out in the lead.
I would just be looking at those incidents. You know, those incidents and the win is always have to go for. So just try to force Stevie Saswa to be making a mistake right here. Is all he's got to do.
Stevie Sabo so far this season with 4 wins. Kraft so far this season with 3 wins. They would be on 4 wins apiece. They've both missed 1 round. So then it comes down to second places.
I think they're tied on that one too.
I think they've got the same results. So
it's either 1 or 2 with these two. This is a replay of Grassetto.
I can confirm Civi Sabo has currently got 3.
Oof.
Wow.
That is Josh Lane. That was the LMP1 on the inside. Really, I think getting under Grassetto's skin right there is Grassetto. Oh, well, he's overcooked the tires. He's still in the back end kicking out right there. And in the new iRacing, revealed in iRacing, they have particular point practicing programs in test drive where you can press a button and you can select which part of the track that you want to practice, and you can press another button and it will set that point of practice that you have. So saying if you're having struggles with this part of the track right here, you can select that button and then select it again, and you can just spend endless amounts of time just practicing that same section. And then when you stop, they can show you the lines that you were taking, which were faster and which were slower, and what you were doing to make that faster or slower.
So what? That's been added?
It's being added. If you were watching
Wow.
the Peachtree thing, if you were not, you missed out on a lot of stuff. Updated Indianapolis. Farther updates on rain, which is looking great. They are afraid of saying the time of release because they want it to be perfect. Which is always
I
great.
don't want them to be wasting time for a year with it being saying, oh, well, it's a work in progress, guys. I would rather we just wait.
We just
can
wait, make
some
it
more.
perfect.
We've waited 20 years. We can wait a bit longer.
Yeah. Ooh, late move by Luceraya.
Wow.
Hello. And that is the move for the lead. Araya has taken the lead with that move. That was a surprise move right there. I think it's taken Jack Wells by surprise. But yeah, they want it to be perfect, and that's why they are just getting everything all worked out. But they did show off the broadcast, the weather forecasting feature, which shows up, like the rules show up when you load into a session. Yeah, they'll have a weather forecast, and will show you the current weather that is in the sky and if it might rain in that situation. And how heavy it is. It will look like a Doppler radar.
That is quite cool.
Yeah, it is. They're just making sure it works before they make it all release, unlike a certain EA game starting with F and ending with 2.
Formula 1 2002.
I did not say, I'm not saying what game we already associate F122.
Okay.
I tried to be non-biased, but no, that game is broken.
It's getting back close again for the lead, but it does seem, at least on the last couple of laps, that Arai's willing to spend a bit more energy down this back straight, which will be a huge advantage to him, because this is where he basically make moves, and then you see it again, Araya supplying lots more energy. Wells maybe game.
Yeah, Wells is just charging up the battery. He's just waiting for that opportunity because he knows Luceraya, and Luceraya knows Wells. They're both just going fast. And I think Wells is just charging up the battery and just waiting for that opportune time because they're 20 minutes into this race. I'm pretty sure they've all gone through their battery at least once right now. And they're just in that recharge zone.
Kraft is very close to Super Sappy, by the way.
Yeah,
this is close as well. We're spoiled for race lead battles.
Oh, great! We're back to this again, where we were having the fight in LP1. Oh, Jack Wells, where are you, Jack? There's Jack. That's PJC. Oh no, it is Bakema. I thought that was PJC, but no.
PJC is also off the track. It is PJC.
Oh, that was PJC. That was both of them. Oh, did they have an issue with each other? I'm expecting this to be PJC hitting the curb, then Bakema probably hitting PJC. Well, there goes PJC, and ooh, he's around in the middle of the track. That's a blind corner. Where is... Ouch.
Wonder if you get Bakema's on boards in that scenario.
That'll be a jump scare waiting to happen. No chance at all. Yeah, it's a blind corner. You have no idea. It's a blind press as well. You come over the curves. Hello! Well, he's trying to avoid as best he can, but that car is wrecked.
Gets a faster pack. Let's see if they enter back out onto circuit later on.
PJC is just still driving that thing around.
That's good effort. Saves him a few seconds with the tow.
A minute, more like it.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So he still is close for both lead battles. You can see it on the timing tower how close it is at the moment. Kraft probably just waiting behind, so yeah, it's probably not worth too much. Is that battle? Wilhelmsen now 6 seconds behind Lane.
So,
lost 0.6 of a second on that last lap.
I need you to check on this. I think Kraft just picked up an incident.
I mean, that would be huge, and also a gift from God, if so. Yeah, no, he didn't? He does not, no.
Alright.
We are getting into constitutional crisis regions here in ARL, where I don't think there's a rule which actually divides drivers. We may have our first ever double champions.
Well, we almost had that in the ARL Monster Amateur Championship last time, where we thought we had a tie, and it was just separated by 1 point. But if they do tie,
But
and
the
everything
countback-
else is tied, yeah,
Yeah.
everything else is tied, what would that go on? Who has had the most pole positions? Or do we even go there?
We'd have to discuss it. So we probably won't get a firm answer tonight.
Rock, paper, scissors on stream.
There you go.
Okay.
That's one way of doing it. Well, I think a good system, Austin. Who's thanked the broadcasting team the most?
Ooh.
We can go through the broadcast. I don't think we've had a chat with Daniel this season, have we?
Well, they're both in Daniel.
Oh, sorry. It's only been 8 rounds. We haven't had a talk with Kraft this season, have we?
Yeah, no, I think that would go to CV Sasma then.
There you go. Siri Savo is your champion, ladies and gentlemen, because he
He
basically
thanked us most.
is nicer
We're not
to us.
biased. We're not biased in any way. It's just that he's the nicer one.
Yeah.
Not biased. We're not biased. As that is Hilner, splitting the two right there and pushing Kraft just a little bit wide. Kraft is right on the tail of Wilhelmsen, but Wilhelmsen is just waiting to get past Cindy Sasso in a safe manner. Took a little bit of a risk heading into turn 1, but this is where that Audi will shine right there. Yep, there it goes. But that did split them apart from 0.4 of a second.
Mork with another fast lap. He's absolutely flying along in the P2 AMS. He is he's fairly detached though, and of course he doesn't need to get in any more places here. He's not going to catch Shuri tonight, I think, but he might catch up to Cathode. He's 10 seconds behind Cathode at the moment, 8 seconds behind Grosseto after Grosseto had that off.
Grosseto just had another off, actually.
Ooh.
Yep, speaking of the off, there's the off. Where is that? Is that the
That's
second
the slow
right-hander?
corner before the
Straight.
straight, I think.
There's the curb. There is Luis Araya. There goes Luis Araya. There's Jack Wells. And, oh, Jack, he made contact with Grosseto. Oh, he thought he was clear right there. Jack Wells and contact made with Grosseto. Sends Grosseto off into the wall. Hope you're not a Wayne Taylor Racing fan, because that will bring back certain painful memories.
Well, Wells had more than a 50-point lead going into this round. The only way he could not win the championship was if he didn't finish and if he got a penalty. That could be a penalty. I'm not saying it necessarily is a penalty, but it could be a penalty. And even if he just gets a level 2, which is a fairly standard penalty, that's at least 25 penalty points. So he needs to finish this race, basically, does Jack Wells, whereas before he did not. So he's made this one a bit tricky for himself. And has he just... Why is he so far behind Araya now? Why is he 20 seconds behind?
I think when he made that contact, he might have slowed down a bit. He goes down to the inside. Bam. Yeah, he's just slowed down to a stop. Was this like to make sure that he can let him by? Or was he typing sorry in the chat?
He did not type anything in the chat. Yeah, I mean, I obviously it's remorse.
I think he might have. Oh, there's the flashing lights. I think he was letting Grosseto by.
And then
Grosseto chased him down and flashed the
Why
lights.
did I let you
Busted out.
past? It was
If
like
you're-
you're gonna sideswipe me, Fabio. Why did I let you past?
He just buzzed the tower right there. He didn't make contact.
So that's unfortunately our P1 battle potentially over.
I
Still in a
think he might have. I think he might have sending Grosseto a little bit of a PM. Just, hey, sorry about that, my bad. And then Grosseto side buzzes the tower. Don't think Wells has any damage, but oof. Yeah, so he needs to finish this race to win the championship now, basically, is what you've said.
Yep. Yep. There's not enough cars for him to finish low enough to lose the points. But of course, he doesn't want to get another penalty either. I mean, if you get 2 penalties, that's like a race win, basically, gone away from you. There's very high post-season penalties, so it can be a problem. Sabo 7/10 of a second in the lead now. Kraft got held up a little bit by P1. It was Wilhelmsen earlier on, and he's just tried to get back into the draft region since then. He is just about within it right now. That gap coming down slightly down the back straight. I think I'll saving fuel Kraft, and seemingly the faster driver, and still with 0 incidents. So still the tie is possible here on Apex Racing TV.
Yeah, tie definitely is possible between Kraft and Civi Salzburg, which will go on to the niceness merit, which I've just made up right now.
You know what? Why don't we judge all championships by the niceness merit?
Well, then I would be the champion of everything.
Yeah. I'd be last in everything.
Yeah, hashtag blame Sam is a thing for a reason.
Wells, what's happened to Wells there?
I think he's just booked out. Hopefully he's just booked out.
No, I think it's a problem. I think he's stationary.
Wells. Well. I think we have an issue.
I mean,
he's still in. I'm checking.
Win this championship, it would be
I'm
one of the
checking
biggest changes ever.
I'm checking iRacing, waiting for that message. I have it up. He's still in. He hasn't manually disconnected. Uh-oh.
Remember, he just needs to finish. If he finishes 3 laps down, he's fine.
Well, if Luis Araya knows what's going on, he's going to be pushing to the end of time to get Wells 3 laps down. He's already a lap behind now.
Can you imagine if he comes out just as he goes like 4 laps down?
The message hasn't come through yet.
Each other.
The message has not come through yet. It takes a long time for that message, but yeah, he is out. Jack Wells, well. Championship implication is out. And speaking of championship implications, Civi Salvo and Kraft have swapped spots, and Jack Wells' connection has dropped due to upload packet loss. Yes, Jack Wells is out of the race right now.
And here comes the 2 Pure Sims drivers. Kraft still just about ahead, but here comes Civi Sabe, and Kraft is trying to make this move stick up to make it earlier in the lap. These 2 are teammates, remember, but a huge block there. They leave each other room through the chicane, and it is Civi Sabe still leading this Road Atlanta race. But man, the gloves are properly off now between these 2. They're going to the championship.
That was a spicy defense. This is how Daniel Kraft got ahead of Civi Salto right here. Just a much better exit out of the S's. Going to be onto the outside right here. Does he just beat him on the brakes? He swings it around the outside. Oh, that is butter on toast right there. Daniel Kraft, take a bow with that overtake. Unfortunately, you didn't keep it because of the long straightaway, but oh, that is a highlight reel worthy overtake right there. Round the outside, Daniel Kraft. And one of the hardest corners to Jack Wells. 2 laps down now. He's lost the position to De Filippes. Where is Araya? Because Jack Wells is at 2.92. Araya is closing on that section, and watch that number besides Wells goes from +2 to +3. Jack Wells 3 laps down.
Incredible. I mean, I maybe jump to conclusions sometimes, but I honestly thought this championship was over and done. Remember, if Wells didn't turn up tonight, he had the championship in the bag.
Was Daniel Kraft's windshield wiper just moving?
Yeah, it's moved a few times. Yep. Seems like whenever we cut to him, it moves.
Is he just wiping the grit that just flies up onto the screen away?
I mean, he has got a lot of it. So
yeah. Yeah, you are behind Daniel City's Hospital, and both of you are racing pretty hard. I would expect a little bit of rubber to pop up on there. I'm guessing I'm just so used to iRacing and wipers not working, and wipers not really being used. It's just still a sight. They might be used very soon. Hashtag soon.
Yeah, 2 years maybe.
Okay, we're not that far away from it.
Oh, I think we'll see. We'll see on that one.
Jake Shuri, current your AM leader, just 8 seconds ahead of Kofet and Mork, and Shuri just going to be doing everything that it can to put in as much points onto the board to, well, try to take advantage of Mork's incident at the start of this race, but Thomas Mork really had a very solid season.
Yeah, he's been the best driver, hasn't he, Mork? He was so strong as well at the start of the season. I think he won the first 2 races. I'm sure about that. Maybe even the first 3. I mean, it's a bit of an odd one, actually, Austin, when I think about it. How it's so close. No disrespect to Shuri and Capode. But it does seem like Mork has been the fastest driver. And you remember Le Mans as well, when maybe Mork wasn't the fastest driver. Even then, Shuri got bad luck. So I'm struggling to call too many rounds where really Shuri's had the upper hand.
So, with Jack Wells out of the session, 5 laps down will not be gaining scored points unless he puts in an amazing push and Luis Araya takes the win. What is the championship situation with that? Because if Jack Wells gets a penalty...
Yeah, that's what it will come down to, yeah. I will check to see if he's already got a penalty this season. Because
yeah, Jack Wells just
about...
posted in our YouTube chat, internet died. Oh no.
So Jack Wells currently has 0 license points, which is good news for him. So basically, if Wells gets a level 1 penalty, he will keep the championship. I think. I'm not 100% sure. What was the points difference going into the round?
You should know that.
Sorry. It was 54. We got to take into consideration drop rounds as well. But I don't think he's got a drop round.
He's been pretty
Helmsen,
good as
yeah,
Helmsen's in the pits. And, well, pressing the big off button as it just died. Luckily, it's in the pits. Of it helps with blowing the engine while stopping the car?
Was the engine not blown before that?
Well, something blew. That might have been PJC's. Yeah, PJC was in the pits as well. And PJC's been in the pits for a while. 13 minutes to be exact. Yeah, Jack Wells. We'll enjoy the rest of the race on here. Shame the battle with Luis was ruined. Very unfortunate for Jack Wells.
I can confirm as well that Wells has already had a DNS. So it's not as though he'll be able to just drop this round as if it doesn't count. This round will count.
And Araya also had a DNS last week as well.
Yes, yeah.
So all the races will count for Araya. Even with that one that he did have that drop round with.
So yeah, to confirm what I was saying earlier on, I was thinking that if Wells just gets a level 1 penalty, then he'll still win the championship. No, if he gets a level 1, he will lose the championship by 1 point.
Ooh.
So if he gets any penalty, he will lose the championship. Araya will win the championship.
So Grosseto, the championship lies on a protest for Fabio Grosseto, basically.
So what was that one?
The championship lies on a protest for Fabio Grosseto.
Oh yes, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Well, this has got interesting.
This is, I mean, incredible. I mean, this is going to be.
I know IndyCar's the few teams, McLaren and Chip Ganassi, are about to go into court with each other. Well, I think we're gonna have a courtroom situation here in the ARL Prototype Championship. Where's Jerry Springer when you need him?
Yeah. Everyone coming into the pits now. So Sabe and Kraft into the pits now. So this is
That's
a big
coordinated.
surprise. I was almost certain that Kraft was going to be able to go an extra lap. However, he should be able to take less fuel. That's the big thing here for Kraft. So this needs to be. So this could decide the championship. If Sivi Sabe can stay ahead, then he's looking very good for the title. If Kraft gets ahead, then we are looking at a tie.
Stevie South was looking to short pit as much as he can to save amount of time. They're both looking to really nail down. Now, these teammates probably both know where each other is going to go with the pit stops. They only need 25 minutes, I would say 28 minutes of fuel. And, going first is Stevie Southwell. Kraft is being held. Did he speed in the pit lane?
No, it wasn't.
No?
It's not that long.
It
was 8 seconds longer.
This is going to be I think, I don't trust taking that little fuel in my car.
But that's so much, and everyone else. So I'll go through the other P2s.
I think.
So you got a 22, a 30. That was those two, and then you got a 26, a 24, and a 23. So Kraft's taking way more than everyone else.
I think he was just being really safe in that situation. He probably just knows his pace and is just betting on catching up to Stevie's ass. But the gap heading into there was 2/10. No, it was in first. Wasn't stuck in neutral or anything. It just kept on
It's
going.
interesting that he was revving up his engine about 10 seconds prior to him being left. It's as though he was unexpectedly being held.
I don't know what would cause that situation unless it would just be no tires to be able to switch that fast. Yeah,
and for viewers who maybe aren't aware, a speeding penalty or an unsafe pit entry, that usually costs you 30 seconds. There's no penalties which are as short as just 10 seconds, so that's why we're sort of ruling that one out here. Was that a 1x?
Oh, I think that might have been a 1x.
It was a 1x.
Oh no, Daniel!
The tie is over. We are not going to have a tie for the championship. Well, we could technically. No, we can't technically. No, we cannot have a tie. The tie is over, people. And thank goodness, because I think Apex Racing League would have had to shut down, honestly, if we had that scenario. We would have had to send out 2 first-place trophies.
This championship would have been extremely confused because, you had the LMP1s being decided by a courtroom battle, LMP2s being decided by rock, paper, scissors, LMP2 AM. Is there anything chaos going on at LMP2 AM right now? No?
Well, Mock's back to the pits now, but it seems to all be good for him. He's taken no fuel though, Mock. Or did he?
What?
He's already pitted earlier on. Yeah, he took,
Yeah.
When I say no fuel, I was exaggerating. He took very little fuel, basically.
He took some.
But it'll be enough to get him to the end because he pitted very early on for repairs.
Yes.
I don't think anything's going to happen here in the PT AMS. Bad. I mean, that's Kraft's chances gone. And it's 2 mistakes, isn't it, Austin? I mean, you look back at Monza with that spin, where honestly it was a 50-50 for the win. And then you look back at that pit lane hold tonight, when I think honestly Kraft must have been probably 60-40 to win, because of the fact that he had an advantage on fuel, one would expect. So, these 2 mistakes in the last 2 rounds have probably cost Kraft the championship.
Unless Civi's Houseboat gets Jack Wells.
Or that. Well, Wells
I'm
isn't in the race.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Jack, that I'm using you as a thing.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Wells hitting Grassetto.
No.
That's what I interpreted as a Jack Wells.
His internet dropping out. Is Jack Wells.
He is back in the session, though, but he is over 10 laps down, so he will not score.
Yeah. Well, Jack, you know what to do. Don't do it. Don't. Do not listen to my advice. I'm an agent of chaos.
Well, if you were out there, Austin.
Oh, speaking of Jack Wells, hi, Luis and Jack. Luis into the pits, and there's Jack Wells just 12 laps down on him.
The comeback's on here, guys. He's just got to make up 7 laps in 20 minutes.
Luis spin. See what happens. Luis probably doesn't know what's going on right now.
Luis is almost a lap clear as well of Josh Lane. He could tow back to the pits here, Luis, and honestly probably catch up to Wells by the catch up to Lane by the end of the race and win.
And there's Diffilippus back into the pit lane. I think for the 3rd time he's in the pit. No, 2nd time he's in the pits. Yeah, it is the 2nd time into the pits. He was in the pits already once from that incident at the start, so he is now back into the pit lane because he's ran out of fuel.
We haven't given a shout out to any of our sponsors so
No,
far.
we haven't.
Apologies to do that. It's just been a lot happening out on circuit and a lot of implications. But if you want to have this overlay that we have for all of our broadcasts on Apex Racing TV, do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk. You can get yourself a subscription and it gives you the software to have all of this. Super easy to use and there's so much customization as well with SDK Gaming. That's one of the best elements about it. Of course, you can use it as a heads-up display for broadcasting, so our cameras are synced at the moment to Jamie's cameras, who's the broadcaster, and that's us commentators. You don't have to post anything, and we just know exactly what's on circuit at any time. And of course, there's no kind of delay or anything that you might get with a live stream. Yeah, there's a fuel calculator as well for whilst you're racing, and obviously live timing as well. So do check out sdk-gaming.co.uk in order to get yourself a 14-day free trial.
14-day free trial if you do a lot of endurance racing. Definitely will come into play because, you know, it's the best heads-up display to calculate how much time you should spend in the pits, especially if you're taking fuel, especially in those tight situations where it's just one stop away and you want to be using just as much time in the pits as needed. And that could be what we see here, the difference between you being in the battle for the lead or you being 10 seconds behind. Daniel Kratz would have benefited from SDK.Gaming.
Yep. There you go. Would have won him the championship.
It would have helped
it would have given
be
him a
in contention.
I mean, honestly, I'm so grateful that he hasn't, because there's no rules to account for an absolute even, because that never happens. It's like in football or any sports, that never happens where two drivers have got the exact same results. Apex Racing League has been a thing for 3 years. That's never happened, never come close to happening. We were extremely close tonight to having an absolute tie which could not be broken.
And you know, when you think these things, it's just really hard to think on how you would decide that, because it's either been first or second place. Neither of them raced and finished in 3rd.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I think we hit the nail on the head earlier on. It has to come down to the niceness score, doesn't it?
Niceness score. I don't think the niceness score would be a thing. It would be fastest laps, I guess. I would have to go on fastest lap. I know we don't do points for fastest laps, but I think we'll have to go for that entire situation. Which one will put in the more fastest laps? But if that is also a tie, what do we do there? Start position?
Yeah, I'd go pole positions, I think, at that point.
And who has the most there?
You see, I would have pole positions actually after race wins. I think once you've done race wins, then it's pole positions. I think pole positions are like a big deal if you can get a pole position. So, but yeah, that's not usually how it's done in motorsport.
Yeah, I remember the Formula 1 championship. They were saying if Saudi Arabia didn't happen before the final in Dubai, they were already predicting countback. And if they did tie, that's a big lockup by Diffilippus heading into the chicane. which I'm surprised because I believe the LP1s have ABS or assisted ABS because of the regenerative braking.
Yeah, I think they do. So yeah, that is unusual. Yeah, unloading that tyre somehow. No close battles at the moment out on circuit. By the way, we have got the P1 of Roberto de Filippis making his way back through the order, but it's not for position, it's not for points, it doesn't count for anything. Kraft's still 9.7 seconds behind the P2 leader, and Lane with a good lead over Wilhelmsen. Good to see Lane have a couple of good rounds to finish off the season. Has been quick this season, Lane, but just a few too many mistakes. But tonight he has been much more consistent as he lets past the 82 there of Jack Wells, who gets one of his 12 laps back. On lane, that is. Ooh, dear.
Ooh, Josh Lane.
I looked away as someone was posting a gift somewhere, but
yep. Josh Lane is oh, is that did he have an incident with Jack Wells?
I think he just outbroke himself. I don't think, and then had to avoid Wells. But now Wells is going very slowly.
I think Wells is just trying to avoid being in any sort of incident whatsoever, because he knows he's in contention to lose a championship from points and maybe. So this is Wells ahead of Lane, and does Lane just get a little bit aggressive right here? Oh, Wells broke early. Yeesh. So I think Wells broke early to let Lane by, but Lane was in no place to really go on Jack Wells right there. Jack Wells is like, yeah. You just continue going on. I'm going to be out. Also, if you missed all that, Luis Arai just lapped the entire field.
Yep.
Because of that incident. So, Luis Arai is sitting one lap ahead, could go into the pits, take a nice sip of orange juice, and then continue on.
Yeah, he could lose. Yeah, a lot of time. He's looking very good. Right now is Arai.
Are we going to see Luis do one lap backwards?
Not sure. Can you use the
boost while backwards?
The boost, yeah, when going backwards? You must be able to.
Should I just call? Should I just call Luis? Just like, hey, we have a question to move. Can you go into reverse and use boost?
He's got a faster pass spare as well. So it's
so if you blow the engine, it wouldn't be that bad.
It's fine to crash.
It's going to do a Michael Schumacher and finish in the pit lane.
Finish in the other pit lane.
Oh.
That's confidence for you right there.
Yeah. Finishing off the track.
Another shout out, by the way, to Apex Racing Academy, another sponsor for the channel. Apex Racing Academy offering 29 data packs. These data packs including setups, track guides, weekly group coaching sessions, which are really useful for getting faster. It's also integrated with virtual racing school. Really, Apex Racing Academy, if you're going for pro in the PESC qualifiers in the next few weeks, absolutely the place to go. You got Peter Bayman, who does the setups and will give tuition in those group coaching sessions and also solo coaching sessions as well. And yeah, Peter finished third in PESC last year, so he's not a bad driver to learn from. And of course, that is pretty much the case with 28 other cars as well, ranging from prototypes, touring cars, single seaters, and rallycross as well. Do check out apexracingac.com to get yourself signed up. I'm sure he's still looking comfortable out in the lead. I'm not sure what happened to Mork earlier on. He was closer, I swear, but not anymore. He pitted twice, apparently,
Yeah,
but I thought he was closer after he pitted once, and Cathode and Co. hadn't pitted at all. But I might be making... I think because he hadn't that incident at the start.
Yeah, he had the
lost
incident.
Like 10 seconds. So when did he pit? Oh, so he pitted on consecutive laps. My bad.
Yeah.
I thought he pitted really early and then later, but no, he pitted.
Yeah,
both
I
times,
I think he might have waited to the pits and then might have realized he made a mistake.
Or pit exit line.
Ooh. That might be the case. It might be the case right there, but yeah, dual pit entries. Unsafe pit entry, maybe. Like, I would say Road Atlanta is one of the easier pit entries.
Really?
I've never had an incident going into there, and I'm dangerous.
I don't think I've ever messed it up because I fear it so much. Because it's like an extra couple of corners, which is like a car's width wide.
It's no Zolder.
I would say by yourself. This one is harder. I think around other cars, Zolder's harder. But even this one, you need to make your intentions very clear well before like the hill.
Yeah.
You're going to go into the pits. We've seen it in another league. I can't remember which one it was. Maybe it was one of the Finding Speed leagues, I think.
I think it was Rickmatech actually where we saw an incident like this.
Oh well, we've seen it twice in that case.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't cover Rickmatech like I do. Well, you don't even race it. I race it. I've seen it happen.
Yeah, so yeah, for people who don't know what we're talking about, you have to get yourself to the right-hand side of the circuit, and obviously around this part you're on the left. But you've got to get to the inside. When you're racing a multi-class in particular, it's very easy to not cover that. It was in the Sim Racers World in the Championship. That's the one that it was in, I can confirm.
Yeah, Sim Racers World, and it was a multi-class event, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
It was a
P2
LMP P2 passing up onto the inside while the GT car was trying to go into the pits. And it just causes giant kerfuffle.
And you could see it from a mile away as well. Like
yes.
On the back straight, you were like, oh yeah,
this is not going to end
literally
well.
exactly what's going to happen, and then it happened. So
Road Atlanta, very interesting. Also, another car out of not scoring points today is Roberto De Felipe's. He's now 3 laps down from Luis Araya.
yes, shame for Roberto. Had to take back to the pits. Remember earlier on,
and he's made 2 pit stops as well. One because of the tow, the other one because of fuel. 7 minutes, less than 7 minutes remain here in Road Atlanta. Beautiful place of in America. And also Atlanta, I have another fun fact trivia question. Atlanta, I believe, is the biggest concentration of separately operated race facilities. You got Road Atlanta, you got Atlanta Motorsports Park, not on iRacing, and Atlanta Motor Speedway. What other cities in the world have at least 3 separately owned racetracks around it?
Is there actually one? Or
I don't know. That's why I'm asking this question. Currently, I think it's just Atlanta. And then for a while, I thought it was Indianapolis because Indianapolis has Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the Lucas Oil Raceway. But that is one entire facility. Now, Lucas Oil Raceway has a road course around the oval. They do not overlap, so that is technically 3 racetracks, but it's just one giant race facility. And they used to race on the Indianapolis Fairgrounds oval and dirt USAC cars before the Indianapolis 500, so that technically would have made it 3, but that is a horse racing facility. So Indianapolis technically 2.
yeah, I'm racking my brains to think of any other places which have 3 circuits.
Birmingham, Alabama has 2, with Talladega off in the distance, but still near Birmingham, and Barber Motorsports Park.
See, in the UK, most of ours are like in the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
So that's a huge rarity in this country.
It's just something I thought about randomly while driving yesterday, and I was like, I think this is actually a thing. I think Atlanta is the motorsports capital of the world, which somebody will slap me for that.
I feel like probably Sao Paulo probably, because you got the big one.
Yeah.
Interlagos is really big. It's like a really big place.
Oh yeah, they do
must
have.
be others.
There is a street circuit in Sao Paulo.
There you go. And I reckon that's probably another kind of Brazilian stock car track, around there. And of course Sao Paulo and another major
Rio.
city in Rio.
Well, the circuit Nelson Piquet was demolished for the Rio Olympics, so.
Okay. It's a great question, Austin. Congratulations.
If it makes me scratch my head, I was like, yep, this is a good question.
Whilst we continue thinking about that, and whilst the viewers continue to think about that, quick rundown of what the championship situations are at the moment. Araya is... Well, we can't confirm the championship, unfortunately, because it will come down to a steward's call. Araya, at the moment, if it ends like this, I mean, the bonus point honestly really doesn't matter, but he currently does not have the bonus point. No one's got the bonus point. So Araya would finish the championship 4 points behind 4 points behind Jack Wells. However, we did see an incident earlier on where Wells might get a penalty. And if he got any penalty, even the smallest penalty, it would be enough to sway the championship.
Yeah, he's not scoring points. And so this championship relies on Fabio Grosseto if he files a protest.
Yeah. In the P2
and we saw Grosseto after Jack Wells went slow, flash his lights and do a side swipe. He didn't hit him, he just did a side swipe. So Grosseto is already a little bit fed up about that. So chances in my mind are pointing to yes, there will be a protest.
Grossetto's just rejoined the session, by the way. Not sure when that was. That could have been 20 minutes ago, but I think it's fairly recent. So we'll see if he is just... Oh, yeah, here we go.
Yep, there he is.
He's back out on circuit, so he's just going to take the chicken flag. Good to see. Finish the season. In the P2 Pros, then, Surisabe has got this one in the bag. He was already ahead of Kraft going into this round. If Kraft had won this race and got no instance, got the bonus point, and Surisabe hadn't have got the bonus point, then we would have had an absolute tie. And both of them would have probably been declared the champion in an Apex Racing League first. However, Kraft messed up his pit stop, and had it not been for that, honestly, we could have had that scenario, as Grosseto has crashed almost immediately coming out of the pits.
Yeah, really cold tires. If that incident happened, I think you would have been fired.
And rightly so. I would have resigned.
Just too much mustard for Grosseto. Into the wall. Not the way that he wanted to end his season, and probably just thinking about Jack Wells right now. If you were Luis Araya and you know what was going through your head, would you be going to Fabio Grosseto and be like, hey, by the way, I'll give you $5 for protesting?
I feel like we shouldn't even go down that route.
No.
Because a lot has happened tonight, and I feel like, tomorrow we could have a scandal of that. So let's hold off.
Would it be a scandal to say, hey, you should probably protest that guy? You did get screwed over.
It's probably best not to give the drivers ideas.
Well, it's white flag, so less amount of ideas being thrown away right now. But Luis Araya, well, what a season he's had! Like up and down, and then he just had that roll. The stroke of luck in Hockenheimring, Mosport taking the win, skipped out on Monza, and then to make this 3 wins in a row. Every time he's on track, right at the hour mark. Right. Oh, it's white flag, just barely missed it.
We went over the hour there, but obviously it's a calculation done by iRacing to guess when the white flag has to come out. We did have a race.
Luis, well, you got your minute. You got your lap ahead of everybody else. You could have made that a checkered flag just by going slowly.
Yeah. Well, I think he could retire now and he'd win the championship, win the race, no?
Yeah, I think so.
I think that's how it works. It may not work like that. I know that doesn't work like that in Le Mans. I think. But yeah, as he moves past Daniel Kraft. But yeah, a quick word on the P2 AMS, by the way. Mork is going to win the championship. Sure, he's going to outscore him tonight, but it's not nearly enough to overhaul the points deficit. So we are going to have Mork as our confirmed champion for that one, despite a very, very good performance from Jake Shuri tonight. But out in the lead, Luis Araya, he is going to make it another race win. After being absent last week, it looked like the championship was over.
He's parking up
the
right next to Jack Wells right there. So
surely...
whatever happens, they're both going to be... Oh, hello. They're both going to finish side by side. And I feel like Jack Wells is giving him a wave. He knows what might happen. If what happens at the end of this race, well, that's all left for the courtrooms to decide. But Luis Araya, third victory of the season. Jack Wells finishes the race currently just barely in the championship lead. And we'll just have to wait towards the end of the season. When does protest end?
Couple of days. They'll try to be done nice and quick. Suvi Sabe is going to round... Well, we've already got Mork across the line. Congratulations to Thomas Mork. He is the champion in the P2 AMS in his first ever Apex Racing League Series. That is a mega effort for Mork. He thoroughly deserves it. Super consistent, super quick, and that is a properly hard-earned effort. Daniel Sibisabo beating his team. Remember, he lost the first 2 rounds, but this will confirm it. Daniel Sibisabo wins the championship. His 5th win out of 8 races he contended in. He's won 5 of his last 6 that he's raced in. Epic performance there from Daniel Sirisabe, and he's beaten Daniel Kraft fair and square there. Kraft runner-up in the championship, and absolutely mega from those 2 drivers. Pure Sims as well, the team's champions in the P2 championship. And that is everyone across the line. That is the championship over and done with. And besides gaining points for the Niceties championship, Austin, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. Championships have been decided, and now we just look at our main championship between Luis Araya and Jack Wells. Luis Araya taking the victory, and well, sitting on deck of being crowned Le Champion. Just has to wait for the rounds of the judges. It's kind of like in the Olympics right now. He's just done his run, and now he's just got to wait for his scores. But Araya on deck to be the champion. Josh Lane in 2nd place. Leonard Wilhelmsen in 3rd. Roberto De Filippis in 4th. Jack Wells, your current championship leader. But we have to wait till about 3 days until everything is all done and dandy to crown the champion. And then it's Matt Loveridge in 6th place. As that is your LP1s. As we look at our LP2 pros, Daniel Civisato, your Le Champion for your LP2 pros, ahead of Daniel Kraft and Fabio Grassetto in 3rd place. And now we go to our LP2 Amateur Championship. Jack Shuri takes the win. Martin Kofed in 2nd. Thomas Mork, your Le Champion. 1 lap down, it doesn't matter. The 3J1K Racing did his championship drive from last to first in Monza last week to get all the points that he need. Followed by Wessel, Bakma, and PJC in 5th place. As we are joined by a slew of drivers right for the picking.
Yeah. I don't know. Do I want to take the easy interview or the harder interviews?
I see a very easy interview to take right now.
I think all
actually,
of them are easy
no,
one.
I think we're talking about different drivers here.
I don't know how we can be. I think it's quite obvious. He's the tricky one. I would drag up Daniel Sirisabe because this is an easy interview for us because he is the champion. There's no questions, guys. It's absolutely confirmed. Even though halfway through the race it was looking like it could be a genuine tie for the title, Daniel, you have confirmed it. Congratulations. We were saying 5 wins out of 6 for you in the second half of the season. Absolutely mega congratulations.
Thank you, guys. It has been a good race as well. Really tight in the first stint with Dan.
Yeah, I mean, Dan looked really quick tonight. I mean, he dropped a bit far back in the first couple of laps. He was able to catch you up. Then he seemed to save fuel before the pit stop. Do you know what happened to Daniel at the pit stop? He seemed to lose about 8 seconds to you.
Yeah, so his fuel calculator didn't work, and then he put in 75 instead of like 50. So yeah, that cost him about 10 seconds in the pits.
I would definitely explain it. Yeah, we were thinking what happened there. We knew it wasn't like a penalty or anything. That makes a lot of sense. That it was the fuel that lets him down. But no, I mean, your performance was absolutely excellent. Of course, the pole position as well tonight. I mean, what would you say has been the difference between the first 2 rounds when we saw Kraft take the first two race wins? What's the difference between those rounds and the rounds that you've won? I mean, have you improved as a driver, you think, as the season's gone on?
I would say so, yeah. Like at Span, they thought Dona, he knew what he had to do in order to like keep in front. And then in the second half, I learned that, like when to save, like when to save fuel, when to be aggressive with the LMP1s, when to just sit behind them. And overall, yeah, I think it's about me being more experienced than I was at Spa.
Absolutely, yeah. We've certainly seen that way, like you said, with the with the fuel elements of it being so important to to split the pair of you, because you have been ever so close. I mean, what's your plans now after this championship? I mean, are you involved in any other championships at the moment? I mean, are you going to stick in the P2, you think?
Yeah, my P2 is like my best car, so I plan on being in the SEO season, and if there is a season 5 of this, I think I will be back as well. But for now, it's on for Spa 24 in the GT3s.
Excellent. Are you going to be racing with Daniel in that one?
We don't know yet, but it's possible that I will, yeah.
Awesome. And do you have any champagne in the house?
I hope so. I hope so.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully you do, and yes, hopefully you can drown yourself in your celebrations tonight. Daniel, congratulations on the title. It's been a great effort from you this season. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Dan, the team, and you guys. Yeah, it's been amazing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for coming and having a chat with us. Not just this round, but many of the other rounds as well, Daniel. And yeah, hopefully we'll see you back on the channel nice and soon.
Yeah, me too. See you guys.
Daniel Civisabe there, your champion for the P2 Pros. Austin, who are you going to talk with next? Not sure if Austin has...
I gotta ask Luis Araya. I've done it again. So yeah, let's bring Luis Araya in here. Luis, how are you feeling? That is your 3rd win of the season, and well, 3rd win in a row on track for you. Not 3rd win in a row technically, but every time you've been on the track, the last 3 races, you have come home in the first place seat. So how are you feeling after that?
Quite good, but I was looking forward to the battle with Jack because he did have the pace advantage today. So yeah, I was struggling a little bit in the start, and yeah, was just happy that I managed to pass Jack when I did, and we did have a fight until something happened with Grosseto. I haven't looked on the replay what happened yet, but yeah.
It would be
Suddenly,
lap 20.
Lap-
Grossetto's lap 20, if you want to be looking at that. But yes, that incident, Jack Wells did not score points this race, and there's also, you were on deck to win the championship if there is a penalty submitted by Grosseto.
all right, I haven't thought about that yet, but yeah, at least I'm just three. Jack is 3 points clear at least, so yeah. If not, Grosseto doesn't protest. Congratulations to Jack, because he has been Mr. Consistent. It's the first race he's outside the podium, so congratulations to him.
Well, it was a very good end of the season for you, and you put in the right foot forward saying congratulations. Whatever happens, I saw you two slow down with each other at the finish line, and it crossed it together. Very nice gesture right there from both of you, and it was a very fantastic season by both of you. Before I let you go, Luis, champion, co-champion or not, whatever happens, how are you feeling about today, and anyone do you want to thank?
Thank you, Austin. I'm feeling great, actually. I have just, yeah, just started to think in what I've done. I went in this series just to learn and have fun, and yeah, I just thought if I get any podiums, this was a great bonus for me. So now I have 3 wins, and yeah, I have some podiums, and I think I have 3 or 4 pole positions as well. So it's been a great season for me. So I'm very happy. So yeah, it's a shame that not more people have joined the series, because driving the LMP1s and LMP2s is so much fun. So I hope we can do it sometime later.
All right. Well, it's certainly exciting to see you do all this work and getting a few wins in there. Congrats on the season. And I guess now you just have to wait.
Yeah, we have to wait and see. But yeah, I take the second place, and I'm very happy with that. So congratulations to Jack as well. And I don't know who came in third, but yeah.
Hilner.
Oh, Hilner as well. Yes, that's good for him. So yeah,
In today's race, third I think would be Josh Lane. I'm not sure.
All right, either of the guys. It's been great to do race with everyone at least. So I think it's been very nice driving from everyone, and yeah. I know Stian in my team is watching the broadcast, and Harfjord is doing it as well. He has helped me a lot the last couple of races, and yeah, I can thank him a lot as well for the wins and the progression I have done in the last races.
All right. Well, thank you, Luis, and thank you for providing a great show this entire season. As I believe Sam, are you gonna talk to Jack?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, I was thinking of chatting to Jake Shuri, but as we will chat to Jake Shuri, but yeah, first off, I will drag in Jack Quills to have a chat with us. Oh, Jack, rough night this evening, and yeah, just sum up how you're feeling at the moment, because it was looking so good for a while, looking like a good race, and then unfortunately, just that connection issue just ruled you out.
Yeah, congrats to Luis on the win and Josh on P2 as well. He ran a great race. He's had a great end of the season. It was looking to be a really good battle between me and Luis there. So it's a shame that it had to end like that. I had a bit of an incident with Fabio, I think, as well, which was, like about 5 laps after the connection started blipping in and out for me. So yeah, I was alongside him. He disappeared, and so did Luis. And then the corner after, I see he's in the wall, so I pulled over to let him through. And then yeah, I don't know how many laps, 5 or 10 laps later, I just completely dropped. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's. It's. I mean, it's such a shame because obviously the last 7 rounds that you've done of this season doesn't seem to have been really any issues, and then yeah, has to crop up halfway through the final race of the season. It's yeah, an absolutely massive shame for you there. But I mean, whichever, I don't know if you know the point situation, but it will most likely come down to that protest results, the championship. But overall, it's been a very good season for yourself. I mean, is there like a highlight for yourself this season, like a race that you particularly enjoyed?
The beginning of this one with Luis, I mean, me and him have been talking back and forth between rounds of how we've enjoyed the championship battle and him chasing me down and stuff like that. So we were looking forward to tonight as well, and it seemed like we were just cruising up front, punching each other back and forth with the lap times and overtakes and everything. Other one that comes to mind is the battle with Matt at Monza and also at Daytona when he chased me down there. So yeah, lots of highlights, lots of great racing.
Definitely, that Daytona round, yeah, it certainly does come to mind. And of course, we know that these P1 cars are absolutely great, but I mean, anyone who's like listening and, you know, maybe aren't familiar with these cars, what would you say to get them, you know, trying this these cars out?
For sure, it's a funny car to drive. For anyone who's driven the Formula One car, Mercedes on the surface as well, you know it's quite easy to drive it, oddly enough, but it's really difficult to find all the time out of the car, which is something I've been working in between rounds to try and find as well. Looking at everything you can do, you know, where you can use boost and everything, but it's an awesome tactical battle you've got with yourself in the car, as well as just driving it and going through the gears and your braking points.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, it's it's these high downforce cars are not the trickiest to drive necessarily, but yeah, to find all the pace out of them is incredibly difficult to do. Jack, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Just the team and Luis. Like I said, we've formed some great respect between us two. So, you know, I hope I can battle and race with him in the future.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having a chat with us, Jack, and yeah, thanks for the season. Thanks for the entertainment.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully, see you soon.
Jack Wells, there, your retiree, unfortunately tonight, even though he did take the checkered flag was too many laps down. Austin, would you be alright to have a quick chat with Jake Shure? I know we're slightly over time, but it would be good
Yeah, we
to
can
have a chat with
It's the end of the season. You know, we ended a
winner.
few. It's the end of the season. We ended a few broadcasts a little bit early at times, so I feel like this is just paying it back. So yeah, let's get Jake in here. Jake, this is Austin in the booth. How are you feeling after today?
Good actually, I think. It was a good race. Start of the race was good fun. Towards the end, obviously the field spread out, but I'll take the win.
It's the end of the season. You took the win here. It's the best way to end the season by taking the win. Anybody you want to like specifically shout out throughout the season that was just absolute fun for you to race around?
I think it was fun to race around Thomas. Obviously, he was leading the championship most of the season, and we were quite close together. Also, Morton as well. We were quite close as well. But yeah, it was good fun to race against the two of them.
Yeah, the race was always very good. You didn't win the championship, but you won the very final race of the season. What was your favorite track of the season for you?
I think Road Atlanta is my favourite. It's a fun track to drive.
Well, you
Very
won there,
compact
obviously.
as well. Yeah, that might be part of it. No,
Just a small bit.
It's a good track to drive. It's complex, but it's fast flowing and very good to race on.
Well, you certainly know your way around Road Atlanta, and I gotta say, congrats on the amateur championship win here. Anybody you want to thank for your performance today and for the season?
I think TNT Esports, obviously, for being part of the team. My parents, they've been downstairs for the last 9 weeks, watching every night. And my grandparents as well, they've been very close to it as well.
Well, they're all going to be very proud of you of that performance there, and I'm pretty sure you heard a little bit of cheering, or they might have let out a little bit of cheer with that very good performance you put in today. Congrats on the race win, and will we be seeing you in more seasons of Apex Racing Leagues?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully be back for season 5 of this. Yeah. Be good to come back and try and win it next time.
All right. Well, congrats on the victory, and we hope you have a great rest of your day. Jake Shuri, everybody. Sam, any closing words?
Not really.
Thanks for thanks for having a chat with us, Jake, and
No problem.
yeah, we'll see you back. We'll see you back soon.
Yeah, see ya.
Jake Shuri there, your P2 winner tonight. I think runner-up in the championship as well. Good season put together. Yeah, that pretty much rounds us off, doesn't it, Austin, for this season? Any highlights for yourself?
This entire season has just been a major highlight. Just a lot of fun. So I gotta say the highlights were just the Monza. The race end of Monza was just incredible. That race, not a lot of people in there, but let me tell you that the end of the race was awesome. The last 20 minutes was just insane.
We are going to have a quick chat because we've just had Thomas Mork at the last moment jump in to the interview waiting area, and seeing that he is our P2 amateur champion, we couldn't help but have a word with him. Well done, Thomas. It's been a long season. It's been a grinding season, and you've got the title. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it has been a really great and fun season. And congratulations to Shuri for the win. It was a great drive from him and Morten today.
It wasn't the perfect end to your season, however. I mean, you spun on lap 1. Were you concerned that the championship might be slipping away at that point, or were you confident throughout that with the faster pair you could get yourself back into play?
I was pretty confident because I had to be, 2 laps down before I didn't get any points. So so far I could, calculate that I would win no matter what place I would get today. So it was okay. I tried to fuel save a bit, and I got close to Morten after the pit stop, but unfortunately I did push the pit limit a bit too early, so I got 15 seconds penalty.
Explains why, yeah, we saw you lose a bit of time with that second pit stop. So, yes, that was a little bit of we were scratching our heads a little bit with that one. For yourself and Morten and the rest of the guys in your team, what's the plan next? I mean, are you going to stick with this P2, or are there any other cars that you're looking that you're putting your eye to?
No, we are going to stick with the P2 here. We drive a lot of endurance races, and hopefully when you start season 5, we join too.
Excellent. That is very good to hear. That we might have you guys back. You've been a very good addition to the league. It's been great to see you guys compete out there. Is there anyone you'd like to give any thanks to, Thomas?
Of course, my team, and especially to you two guys. You have done an amazing job commentating these races. I have watched all the races afterwards, and I just love you two guys. You are incredible.
Well,
You're making me blush over here.
Again, this is the niceness score. You'll hear all about this, Thomas, when you listen back on the broadcast. We were saying how the championship should be decided on who can say the nicest thing to us, and I think you've just won that championship. So, congratulations! You're a 2-time champion this season. We hope to see you back very soon on the channel.
Thank you.
Thomas Mork there. Nicest person on the grid.
There's no trophy currently for that.
Currently, but I think we could afford a 200 quid trophy.
Yeah,
for that.
yeah.
I think
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, there you go.
It needs to be, we did.
I think that's well, yeah. I think that trophy, that confirmation of the nicest trophy, I think pretty much is all we have time for tonight.
Yeah.
Then. So that is the championship for you. 9 rounds of the Apex Racing League Prototype Championship. Because if you want to sign up to this championship or any other championship similar to it in GT3s or Formula 4s or Porsche
Cup.
Cups or many others, might have a NASCAR league coming up soon as well. Do go to apexracingleague.com and join our Discord as well. There's a link to that in the description below. Also check out Apex Racing TV's social media channels on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Again, links to that below. Thanks to SDK Gaming, Virtual Racing School and Apex Racing Academy for sponsoring this broadcast. And thanks to particularly SDK and Apex Racing Academy for offering some great prizes as well, which many of the drivers, including Thomas, will be getting his hands on for the after the season is concluded and after all the results are finalised. But that is all we've got time for. Also, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to do that. But that is officially all we've got time for then on Apex Racing 2. Thanks for joining us this season, particularly the drivers, anyone watching back. Thanks for putting on a show for us over the course of the past couple of months. And yeah, we hope to see you back on the grid very soon. But for now, from myself, Sam Fitzpatrick from Austin Knights, and from Jamie Fluke, we are going to say goodbye and we'll see you back in Season 5. See you then.